So this is a video I wanted to film off the cuff. It's been something that's been top of mind for me recently, and it's a quote I read a while ago, which is the work you do and the level of dedication that you show in the work you're doing is in direct correlation with the level of gratitude that you have for your current situation in your life. Right. And I think this is so relevant and particularly in business for anyone else out there who's watching this, or even just all of you watching this back in the future, a reminder for yourself, the level of work the amount of work that you put in, the level of dedication that you have to your work is in direct correlation to the situation which you are currently in. And the reason this comes to mind for me, it connects directly to the idea of the importance of gratitude, right? Being grateful for your situation. And I'm trying to be grateful for problems that I'm currently facing in the business and keeping in mind the fact that this version of, sorry, not this version of me, the old version of me, say like Oliver from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I look back at myself when I would have been sitting in fucking my little uni flat in Dunedin, freezing cold, scared, afraid, literally no money. Like I put all my fucking money, I had no money. I had weeks where I was just had to eat oats, right? And the fact that now the problems I'm dealing with, fuck, how do I scale my ads faster without my ROAS dropping below a 3x? The fact that it's now like, fuck, how do I take the business from 30, 50K a month to 100K a month? Like, man, what fucking fantastic problems to have. Or even like, fuck, I've got some clients which aren't getting results. And historically, a way that I've dealt with that, like, not proud of saying this, but again, I take a big vested interest in getting results for clients. Like, I really do take it personally for not getting them results because I take it as a direct reflection of my ability and my skill. And then I almost then let that communicate across into my authenticity when I'm on calls, right? And I feel like I'm not able to sell in the same way because I just don't have that same confidence in my ability to deliver for people if I'm not consistently delivering for people. So it's the slight change of when I would have periods of not getting good results, and still to this day this happens, and I'm getting better at managing it, but that would then show up as results stop coming through, and I just bury my fucking head in the sand, and I avoid the pain of actually dealing with the shit that's going on in their account, whether that be that their ads aren't converting or the leads aren't converting, whatever it may be, and just avoiding problems because it's less painful to just fucking forget about it and essentially just like count down the minutes until, let's say, for example, getting poor results for a client, right? Instead of actually addressing the issue and going through the pain of having the hard conversations, doing the hard work, if you just avoid it, then, I mean, eventually that's going to turn, right? But at least you don't have to face the pain as much and be as confronted with the potential of trying and failing. But something I've been trying to be more mindful of recently is just being fucking grateful for the problem. Like, if the problem is that, for example, I've got two clients at the moment which come to mind, funny enough, both of which are in one market in Tampa, but they aren't getting results at the moment. Like, the it's been a short period of time. The ad's been live for about between 5 to 10 days between the two of them, but they haven't got any leads yet. Like, one of them's got 3 leads, no appointments. But like, I feel like I'm not getting them the results that I wanted to get them. Right? And I'm taking it personally, and I've noticed this thing start to come up where I avoid the work. I'm not responding to them as fast. I'm not being as active with the ads. I'm not actually proactively going in and trying to figure out what the fuck is going wrong with the ads. Right? Are we not getting enough clicks? Is the CTR too low? Is the landing page not converting? Is it an issue with the offer? Right. Self. And what I'm going to continue to remind myself to stop this pattern from continuing to arise is, again, like, just be fucking grateful that this is the problem I'm trying to solve, because I know there have been many periods throughout the business. I even look at earlier this year, end of last year, when I was going through a lean patch. I really thought like the thought went through my mind that I might have to shut it down and just like do something else because financially just wasn't working out. Or even if I look back to when I first started the business, there were like I would be so happy if my problem was trying to fulfill for clients rather than trying to get clients. Like, again, I look back to when I first started the business. I had no money. I put all of my money into a coaching program. And back then, I would have been so happy to know that my problem was trying to fulfill my clients, because then that would mean that I would have at least had clients to fulfill for. Even if I wasn't getting them good results, at least I would have had clients to fulfill for. And as a byproduct of that, at least I would have had money coming in from those clients and they would have been paying me. So it can be very easy to get caught up in the moment and to get caught up in the weeds and just feel like everything's on fucking fire. But like, man, if you really just take some time, sit down and just zoom out and like really look at where you are. Like, look at where you are, look at how far you've come. You know, if you've been doing this for, I mean, even if you've just been doing it for a short period of time, weeks, right? But most likely the people who are watching this, or again, Oliver, if you're watching this back in the future, like you're probably even looking back on where I am right now, knowing that I would be so proud of where you are right now. I look back to the version of me that started this business, and I know, even though now I feel like there's days where I feel like I'm not doing good enough, I'm not where I want to be. But the version of me who started this business is so proud of how much I've accomplished, of everything I've done, of all the hard shit I've gone through. Business is so powerful. And obviously, you want to take that with a grain of salt, right? You don't want delusional optimism to the point where everything's great and everything's standing when everything's going wrong. Like, yes, there can still be hard times and you're allowed for it to feel like it sucks. But just keep in mind as well that gratitude is going to make everything so much easier. If you can find a way to be grateful for all the shit going on, it makes business more tolerable. Because fuck this, like you hear people talk about it, but it's you don't really understand it until you experience it. There's so much of business is just fucking eating glass. Like it's not fun, it's not sexy. Yeah, sometimes there's periods of either days, weeks, sometimes months where it feels like you're just getting the shit kicked out of you. You know, you're on the ground and you're just getting the shit kicked out of you by a bunch of different people, and it's just stomaching it until the wave passes. And then you can get back up and rebuild. But through those periods, again, like the gratitude can be so helpful for keeping things in perspective and just keeping in mind like it will get better as well. So this is a bit of a rambling video, but again, like this is something that I'm trying to instill in my mindset at the moment is try to be more grateful for the problems that I'm dealing. And particularly again, I know that I can get quite avoidant with like when I do have problems coming up because so much of business is a mental game as well. It's like when the shit comes up, it's how fast can you reset to your baseline and just carry on with shit as normal rather than getting thrown completely off of course. So yeah, I don't know. This has been a bit of a rambling video, but I know I'm probably going to watch this back one day. I actually just went through the other day and I watched back some of my older videos from end of last year. So what was that, about 8, 9 months ago? And I think it's cool to reflect on this stuff. So I don't really give a fuck if anyone else watches this. If people do watch it, great, cool. I hope you get some value from it. If you don't, sorry for wasting your time. But again, I know I'm gonna want to watch back on this stuff one day, and I wish I documented the journey more. But yeah, fuck, just be grateful for the shit that you get to solve. Be grateful for the problems that you're facing in your business. Because again, I promise you, there's a version of you a few years ago, or a few months ago, or even a few weeks ago, would be so stoked that these are the problems that you get to solve. And again, if you ever feel like you're getting down in the dumps about what's going on in your life, there's this really interesting reframe I heard, which is so powerful, which is imagine if you had to write the biggest problem in your life, whatever that is. Like I'm sure you can think of, there's something that comes to mind that is like the problem that you're facing, the dragon that you're trying to slay at the moment, right? If you were to write that down on a piece of paper and then put it into a bowl, and everyone else in the world has put their biggest problem into that bowl as well on a piece of paper, and you're to randomly dip in and pick out a piece of paper, and that was in the problem you had to face, would you do it? Or would you keep the current problem that you're facing? Because again, like there's people out there facing problems that have a hell of a lot harder than what you're going through. I guarantee it. And I'm not trying to take away from the fact that yes, I'm sure like what you're going through probably isn't easy. But again, like there's it could be a lot worse, right? Because there's people out there who they don't have fucking shelter over their heads, they don't have food, they don't have clean water, right? They're hungry, maybe they're terminally ill, maybe they've got some sort of awful disability, whatever it may be. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. So this is just a really long video of saying, firstly, be grateful because like gratitude makes everything easier. Gratitude puts you in a much better state rather than, if you're hyper fixated on the problems that you're facing, you're probably going to, if you look at it from a sense of the map of consciousness, you're probably coming much more from a place fear, right? which shows up as avoidance or anxiety, I believe, from my memory of the map of consciousness. But again, just like be fucking grateful for the problems that you're getting to solve, either in your personal life or in your business. Because again, there's a version of you that would be grateful and stoked that these are the problems that you get to solve. In general, just show gratitude in your business and zoom out to look at how far you've come. And again, keep in mind, like it could be worse. It could be a hell of a lot worse. And again, not trying to take away from whatever it is that you may be going through, but yeah, again, like for me, trying to figure out how to get these some leads through for those two clients I was talking about earlier, like fuck, it could be a hell of like life could be a hell of a lot worse than that if that wasn't my problem. You know, like there could be problems out there that are so much worse than that, where I could fucking walk out and get hit by a bus tomorrow and suddenly I can't walk. That would suck. That'd be worse. So long ramble. Don't know if anyone got any value from this. This was just something that was top of mind for me. And again, like it's a mindset I'm trying to instill in myself of reminding myself that the level of work I'm doing and the dedication I'm showing to my work is in direct correlation to the level of gratitude I have for my situation. Because yes, you can still be like afraid when doing things, or you can still be uncertain, or whatever it may be. Like again, for me, when I'm going through and trying to come up with new ways of ads, like it's you can be uncomfortable, but still do what needs to be done. And it's gratitude that will help you do that. So, bit of a rant for your Wednesday night. Hope there's some value from this. Bye bye.